Makes sense. We got a super chat here from Tron. Says, Clay, which rook this year has the biggest impact? Man, the one I keep coming back to, Tron, if you're talking defense specifically, if I had to pick one on each side of the ball, let's do that. And I'll be real brief and we'll get back to the practice breakdown. If I had to pick one on each side of the ball, on defense, Nazir Stackhouse getting a lot of love. But I'm telling you, man, with how heavy our rotation is at edge, if they get Baron Sorrell on the field, I'm kind of leaning toward Baron Sorrell. So on defense, I would say let's really watch Baron Sorrell in preseason and see. Really, it comes down to that. Baron Sorrell and Nazir Stackhouse. Those are the two I want to have my eyes on in the preseason, right? On offense, it's Matthew Golden. Now, how much will we see him in the preseason? I don't know. But on offense, it's Matthew Golden and probably Savion, to be honest with you. I know it's a kind of an easy, low fruit answer, I guess you could say. But Savion, if he's healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if Savion ends up being a better player than Matthew Golden. Because the reason I say this, because when you turn on the college tape with Savion, that ain't a knock against Golden at all. If you guys watch this show consistently, you know I love Matthew Golden, man. I haven't seen a rookie wide receiver come into camp and do what he did. But when you look at Savion, they asked him to play Wildcat quarterback at TCU. They asked him to play running back. They asked him to play wing. They asked him to play X. They put him in the slot. But you didn't really see an opportunity where he was just playing receiver predominantly. And I know the Packers aren't going to do that either. But I say that because he's not been trained up properly to play wide receiver or slot, right? Now he's got an NFL coaching staff with their hands on him, teaching him how to be a receiver. And along the way, let's line his big 222-pound carcass up in the backfield and just run over some nickel corners. That would be fun, right? And now you can kind of play chess and not checkers when it comes to the whole personnel department, or the personnel aspect, I should say. What I mean by that is when you put Savion on the field and they read 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver sets, all right, let's go nickel. And then all of a sudden, Savion might as well be a hybrid tight end, or now he can play running back. Man, it just becomes multifaceted on how you can attack. But those would be mine that I would watch. Tron, I actually gave you 4 there, right? Baron Sorrell and Nazir Stackhouse really got my attention. Now, watch Warren Brinson end up being an absolute stud. We'll give you an update on him in a second. But those are the 2 I'm interested on defense and the 2 on offense. So Anthony Belton, too, in preseason. I want to see how he holds up against other, second teamers in the NFL, see if he kind of carries over his success from college. That would be fun, too. Chris the Casual with Super Chat. Thank you, buddy. Don't forget about the warm Krispy Kreme I owe you. Oh, that's right, man. Man, I was thinking about Krispy Kreme last night. We were leaving the Speedway, and I thought, you know what I'd like to have right now? Some Krispy Kreme donuts. Based off my morning, I'm glad we didn't do that. So we'll just keep it at that. Yeah, I want to have those sent to somebody, Chris. So we'll do that giveaway soon. Keep reminding me, man. That would be fun. What we'll do is have you DoorDash them to somebody. And if it gets expensive with the DoorDash fee, I'll help cover that charge too. So appreciate you, Chris. Thank you for the Super Chat, man. All right, we got to go rapid fire. I've talked way too much. When the guys aren't here to keep me in line, this happens. All right, so we talked about Kenny Clark. 3rd and 6 conversion. Love to Musgrave, aided by running back Chris Brooks picking up a blitzer. All right. Rookie wide receiver Savion Williams, 3rd-round pick, caught a 25-yard pass from Willis on the first snap, but missed much of camp due to injuries and didn't finish the practice. So you see he got a little bit of work there. Obviously caught a 25-yard pass from Malik Willis. Rookie defensive lineman Warren Brinson, 6th-rounder, right? Stuffed rookie running back Amar Johnson later forced an errant throw by Love with an interior rush. Just got through talking about how I was excited about Nazir Stackhouse, his former teammate Warren Brinson. Flashed a little bit in Family Night. This is going to be fun, man. Preseason is going to be a lot of fun watching these young defensive linemen play. I want to see Warren Brinson and Nazir Stackhouse on the field together, right? You know what you got in Wyatt. He's a starter. You know what you got in Kenny. He's a starter. Don't risk hurting those guys. They don't need the extra reps, in my opinion. Get those 2 guys out there, the Bash brothers out there, the former Georgia Bulldogs, right? Get them out there and let them rush together. That's going to be a lot of fun. This one's awesome. So Lucas Van Ness sacked Love by beating left tackle Jordan Morgan. I say it's awesome. Some people are going, that ain't good, Clay. We don't want Jordan Morgan losing, right, if he's going to be our left tackle. But listen, when it comes to that, it is what it is. It's positive for Lucas Van Ness. Obviously, it's a negative for Jordan Morgan. We got the rep here, actually. Who posted this? Looks like Lambeau, actually, it was originally Matt Schneidman, but I picked it up from Lambeau Leapers. All right. Lambeau Leapers, Brazil. All right. Love it. So here you go. This is the play here. Van Ness down here at the bottom of the screen. You see he's kind of in that wide 9 look. Some would call it a 7. I'm good with that. So you see there's a tight end on that side. Here's Jordan Morgan. I'm imagining the tight end is either going to sift over or he's going out in the route. Let's roll it here and just let it loop. Just a straight bull rush right back in. Yeah. That, to me, that looks like a pretty bad Jordan Morgan rep there. I mean, his footwork looked horrible there, right? Chris, the casual end, who's a big Rasheed Walker truther, he gonna love the pile on this one, I promise you. But again, you just see the speed off the jump there, off the snap with Lucas Van Ness, just a little bull, just way too powerful for Jordan Morgan. Not a good rep there. Coach Lynn said, Morgan is not a left tackle. I'm not ready to say that yet, Coach, but this looks a lot different from Rasheed Walker, does it not? Rasheed Walker really holds up well at the point of attack here. But you got to give LVN credit too, man. Just runs right through his face. And then, of course, you got the Jordan Morgan bad footwork there. Really, really bad footwork. It's kind of scary too. Watch Jordan Love's legs there. He gets stepped on right there. Listen, tip your cap to LVN. He blows up Jordan Morgan. But notice how he doesn't, and maybe real easy to get excited there and just try to run through his face and you end up stepping on Jordan Love's ankle or something. Watch Jordan's feet here. Me no likey that, Jan. Don't like that at all. Like, hey, we got to keep our quarterback upright. So that is that rep there that we mentioned when it comes to Lucas Van Ness and the sack. And Coach, I'm not ready to ride him off at left tackle yet, but I cannot disagree with that. That tape right there he did not look like a left tackle, right? Did not look like a left tackle. So, all right, let's move along here. We've got bad snap. So we talked about Donovan Jennings with the bad snaps. For whatever reason, they're trying to cross-train him at center, right? He airmailed one to Sean Clifford, remove the next play. I'm hoping that AI didn't just snatch that from the practice the other day and throw it in. If you guys remember seeing that on Family Night, chime in the chat there just to confirm. But when I see Donovan Jennings playing at center, it feels like Sean Ryan's the backup center and Jacob Monk is just behind Sean Ryan as the backup to the backup center. Kind of feels like Donovan Jennings probably not going to make this roster. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it does feel like they're trying to, well, let's see if there's any value there before they move on. I could be wrong, and injuries could change that quick. But nonetheless, he airmailed that snap there for sure. Coach Lynn says Belton looked like a left tackle. Let's go. I'll keep my eye on that this preseason. And maybe he's the answer in the future at left tackle. That's why you spend a second-round pick on him, right? So it's looking more and more like keep Rasheed Walker, which I think we should at least for this year. Let him play left tackle. Get Anthony Belton ready to take over for him next year as he walks into free agency if you don't decide to pay him. And then let's just play Jordan Morgan at right guard. You know, that's what it kind of feels like there. So, all right, moving along. Deep pass, Love to Matthew Golden, incomplete with transition cornerback Bo Melton in good position. Boy, I'm telling you, Bo Melton, you guys know when they first put him out at corner, I said, oh, writing's on the wall for Bo, kind of like what I just said for Donovan Jennings. I think I'm probably way off on that opinion, that early opinion that I have. It seems like Bo Melton is almost a slam dunk to make this roster because of special teams value, and he's starting to kind of show up as a corner. That's really exciting. Here we've got Kalen King, all right, Reed Willis. So we have Malik Willis, I think it was, a read pass to Julian Hicks when no one opened. That's really poorly written there, AI, but I think we've got the video here. So this is the Kalen King interception. I can't remember if I showed it already. Let's go ahead and pop it up on the screen here. So Kalen King flashed on this play. This was Wes Hodkowitz. I can't remember if I already showed it, didn't I, guys? That was when he jumped the route. Yeah, that's when he jumped the route. So, again, it was just being mentioned in the individual play. So we've covered that. Don't want to glance over it too much because, again, it was a nice play. But Kalen King, that's the type of stuff you want to see another player to look for in preseason for sure. Run stops, rookie linebacker Jamin Johnson stopped rookie linebacker Israel. So it meant running back. There's a typo. Israel Abani Konda twice. Note, possible typo, likely running back. There it is. AI said, hey, we screwed that up. We're not going to change it for you, though, Clay Dog. So he obviously, rookie linebacker Jamin Johnson. I feel like he was a rookie last year, too, which I guess he's not into his second year yet, hasn't played a single snap yet. So AI may continue to read that as a rookie. But he stuffed Abani Konda twice there, so nice little set of plays. Then you got Carl Brooks, Kingsley, and they've already stuffed Amar Johnson on back-to-back runs, so they seem to be playing the run, picking up right where they left off last year. Up next, Carrington Valentine. Carrington Valentine, 4 interceptions. I think I've got this interception, then I'll put the notes back up on the screen for you guys. I think we got it right here. Yeah, so we had Carrington Valentine with a nice interception during family night. Make sure I get the right one up on the screen for you guys. And hopefully we're describing this well enough for everybody on the pod. I apologize if we're not, but here we go. So kind of an errant throw there, right? I'm thinking, is that Love that threw that? We'll find out here in a second. Let's let it play back. Obviously got the Lambeau leap from Carrington Valentine. You love to see it. And again, him just playing the ball. It just seems like Carrington's always in the right place at the right time. Yeah, that was Love. So it looks like the receiver maybe, I don't know if it's a misread there. So that was Matthew Golden, right? That was definitely Matthew Golden. Let's go back here. Let's try to loop it. So Matthew Golden, he pulls up almost like he was expecting one of those underneath choice routes. And for whatever reason, kind of broke the route off. Love thought he was going deep. But again, good hands by Carrington Valentine. Our boy just always seems to be able to get that head around and play the ball. And that's definitely something Jeff Hafley has preached. So really, really excited to see Carrington Valentine. You guys know I was really big on him last year. Still am, to be honest with you. I think he's a guy that's got a ton of upside. Didn't expect the second-year jump that Carrington had last year, but boy, oh boy, am I glad it happened. So nice play on the ball there by Carrington Valentine. Now, back to the notes here so we can stay on topic. I can't wait to get into Omar Brown, man. That's going to be a fun little breakdown. Malik Willis 2-minute drill started at the 35 with 120, 3rd and 1 completion to Will Shepherd. We got a Will Shepherd sighting, guys, 10 yards there. Then he was sacked by rookie defensive end Barron Sorrell, who beat Anthony Belton. That's exciting. So you got a 4th-round pick in Barron Sorrell out of Texas, beating your 2nd-round pick, offensive tackle Anthony Belton out of NC State. Some people look at that and go, oh, man, Belton played like crap. To me, that's more about a 4th-round pick beating a 2nd-round pick. I'm telling you, there's something about Barron Sorrell. It just feels good, man. It feels like that dude, when you see him, first of all, next to Rashawn Gary and some of these pros, and it's just like, this dude looks like an NFL pass rusher. I'm really, really excited to see what Barron Sorrell does in the preseason. I know I've said it 1,000 times. Kicker, Brandon McManus, 8 of 8 on field goals, including 50, 54, 51. He was 36 of 37 in camp overall. LaFleur said, quote, pretty consistent, avoiding the jinx. So Brandon McManus, again, there's not a whole lot to cover there other than the fact that, boy, oh boy, do we have us a kicker. And I'm so excited about it, man. I'm so excited to know that if we're down by 2 points in a pinch, if it's within 50 yards, in some cases you see here 50, 54, 51, if it's within 50 yards, you really like your chances of McManus hitting that field goal. Now, listen, I think he finished the year 93%. You guys correct me if I'm wrong there, if you know the actual percentage. Well over 90% field goal percentage last year. I don't expect that this year. I am curbing the enthusiasm. That is not normal. If he comes out and does it again, that's absolutely awesome. But I'm expecting him to be closer to the 85% range, and that's all I want, man. That's all I want. That means is if you had to go out there and kick 100 kicks, you're making 85 out of 100. That is way better than what we got used to with the kicker carousel, right? Now, if he cracks 90% again, might want to name a street after the guy. I'm just telling you. That's right. Greg Rice says Brandon McMoney. Yes, there you go. 2-0 for this says, heck, McManus could nail a quarter mile. Telling you, man. I love it. He just, again, I know he's going to miss. But when I'm watching Packer football on Sundays now, when we march the kicker out there, I got to the point before we signed McManus, I'd just go get a drink. I'll find out if he hit it here in a minute. I don't want to watch it. So with McManus, though, I find myself just rooting for him. Like, man, let's drive this thing through. Big leg on that guy, too. Wow, Bates, that is awesome. 95.2%. He was 20 for 21 last year. And he led the league, I believe, in field goal percentage. The only person higher than him had like less than 10 kicks or something like that. It might have even been less than 5 kicks. So, yeah, really, really got a lot of faith in Brandon McManus kicking field goals. So, all right, here we go. Crowd 59,175. It was down slightly from the 60,887 last year and 65,222 in 2023. So taking a slight dip, but still, when you get 59,000 fans showing up family night, man, oh man, that's good stuff. And it says quarterback drill. Love and others did Lambeau leaps after throwing into the hoop, which we showed you that stuff. So there you go. That is your kind of play-by-play breakdown, right, of Packers family night. Now let's go to the lineup notes. This stuff to me matters as much as those plays we just highlighted for you and showed all the different highlights and all that stuff. This is kind of like a glance into Matt LaFleur. All right, is he trying to tip his hand a little bit? Like, hey, here's our starting lineup. Let's see how it lined up. Number one offensive line with Rasheed Walker out, so keep that in mind. Jordan Morgan seems to be the backup left tackle, right? Aaron Banks at left guard, Elton Jenkins at center, Sean Ryan at right guard, and Zach Tom at right tackle. No surprise there. Now, the only thing that catches my attention is if Rasheed Walker was playing at left tackle, would Jordan Morgan start over Sean Ryan at guard? That's the only question I have. And I don't know the answer. I've said it before. Listen, if Sean Ryan beats out our second year first round pick, Jordan Morgan for right guard, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to sound the alarm. Guys, I want the best five out there. I don't care where they were drafted. I don't, man. I grew up watching John Randall kick our ass with the Minnesota Vikings. He was undrafted. I remember James Harrison with the Pittsburgh Steelers being one of the best, if not the best, most feared edge defenders in the game. He was undrafted, right? I'm trying to think of who else here. Sam Shields, great cornerback for the Packers, undrafted. Tramon Williams, huge role. Without Tramon Williams, I don't know if we win that Super Bowl in 2010, 2011. Undrafted, right? So I don't care where you were drafted. Get the best five out there at the offensive line. Get the best at every position, man. So that's the way I see that. Now, Matt Schneidman put a tweet out. Matt LaFleur on Jordan Morgan's extensive work at left tackle the last couple of days with Rasheed Walker hurt. Quote, there's going to be some hard lessons along the way, but I love how he's attacked this thing. Let me translate that. In my opinion, he's saying, boys, it ain't looking good. He's getting his butt kicked out there, but he's doing his best. So holding on for dear life, right? Let's hope that he improves pretty quickly here. All right, number one secondary with Nate Hobbs out. So again, Nate Hobbs, it seems as if Nate Hobbs is going to play outside corner. We haven't seen him in the slot much in camp. He's mostly played outside, right? So with Nate Hobbs out, it was Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine on the outside, Javon Bullard in the slot, Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams at safeties. No surprise there. I would be more interested in seeing if when Nate Hobbs is healthy, and we'll probably see it maybe as early as this week, hopefully, when he's healthy, does that mean that he goes to the slot when the money's kind of on the table as we get a little later in the preseason? Do we put him in the slot, put Javon Bullard on the bench and let Carrington Valentine start, or do we keep Javon Bullard in the slot, put Nate Hobbs on the outside, and bench Carrington Valentine? It feels to me like the answer is our starting DBs when Nate Hobbs is healthy and everyone else is as well. It's going to be Nate Hobbs, Keyshawn Nixon on the outside, Javon Bullard in the slot, and Carrington is going to be that next man up type guy off the bench. That's what it feels like. And if for some reason Javon Bullard goes down in the slot, they'll probably throw Hobbs to the slot, put Carrington on the outside, and off we go. And that's not a knock against Carrington Valentine. I think it's kind of multifaceted. I think that they want Javon Bullard on the field because he's a second-round pick, and I think that he played way better in the slot than he did safety. Now he's got a full offseason, 2 full off seasons under his belt, right, to go out there and try to get even better at playing slot. Again, I'm not saying he had a great year last year, but I am saying he played significantly better in the slot, he being Javon Bullard, than he did at safety. So, all right, consistent starters on the defensive line. Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness. No surprise there. I completely agree with that. Those starters. Linebackers. Quay Walker recovering from ankle surgery. It was Edgerrin Cooper, Isaiah McDuffie, and Isaiah Simmons, probably in that order. So when you're in your nickel 4-2-5, it would be Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, and then at stack backer, it'd be Edgerrin Cooper and Isaiah McDuffie is what it feels like, the way that's worded there. Now, there's plenty of time for Isaiah Simmons to take that up, to leapfrog Isaiah McDuffie on the depth chart. But we know they like McDuffie. They gave him a 2-year extension, albeit it was peanuts. It wasn't a whole lot of money, right? But they did give him a little extension, a little bit of security there, not much. Quay Walker's the starter. Don't get me wrong. It's Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper, but it seems like Isaiah McDuffie still has the edge over Isaiah Simmons. Let's see what Isaiah Simmons does in preseason, though. Defensive line reps, UDFA defensive tackle Nazir Stackhouse taking second-team reps ahead of veteran Kobe Wooden and sixth-rounder Warren Brinson. Guys, Stackhouse has flashed, right? And it seems like they're going, all right, let's see everything this guy's got. Let's see if he can be that second-team nose tackle for us, right? And I personally think the first-team nose tackle will be Kenny or Carl Brooks is what it feels like. Because Kenny played a lot of nose last year. Not a lot of people don't realize that. Now, with that being said, this also could be, listen, let's throw the whole book at Nazir Stackhouse and make sure that if we do decide to try to get him on the practice squad, we feel good about our decision because we got plenty of looks. The last thing you want to do is get down to roster cut down and you gave everybody too many reps and you don't have enough tape on one individual person that you think the actual decision is geared around in terms of getting them to the practice squad. So that's how I think they're looking at this. But I do think that's legit that Nazir Stackhouse he has passed up Kobe Wooden on the depth chart. It feels like that's happened. And I personally would agree with that based off the tape we've seen with Kobe Wooden. And again, you can't make the club in the tub. He was banged up last year too. So Warren Brinson is going to be fun to watch. Now, again, we're talking about these players we need to keep an eye on in preseason. Kobe Wooden's one too. He may come out in preseason and completely change my mind, So let's definitely keep our eye on that for sure. So let's move on to the training camp schedule. Next public practices Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10:30 a.m. The team will be off Friday. And then the preseason opener is Saturday night at Lambeau Field versus the New York Jets. Let's freaking go. God, I can't wait, man. Cannot wait. So, again, next public practices, and this could change. You guys know it changes on if Matt LaFleur goes, let's have a practice today. They'll run them out there, right? But it sounds like it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday open to the public. So we'll try to get Tim out there if he's free. And, again, we appreciate anything that Tim does for this show. He's a busy, busy man, but if he finds himself out on the practice field, we'll definitely I love getting his take being there because it's different. Listen, it's different than just reading Twitter to you guys and having someone boots on the ground there at practice, seeing it firsthand. It's absolutely huge. So, all right, quote of the day. And I want to give credit to Bill Huber. I believe it's his article that grabbed this quote, and it's where I found it out, okay? Safety Xavier McKinney, quote, "It's time to go, time to focus. I'm laser focused more than I was last year. So for me, it's just continuing to grind, continuing to find ways to improve, and not just for myself, but continuing to elevate these guys around me. That's going to be the main thing. I'm trying to have the best safety room in the league." Listen how he words that. I'm trying to have the best safety room in the league. I am. Not we are, not the coaches are. He's taking ownership of that safety room. These are his guys. When we go out there, it's we fence. It's not defense. It's we fence. It's us. Let's go out there and flip the freaking tables. I love how he's approaching that, man. That right there fires me up. I'm trying to have the best safety room in the league, man. How blessed are we that Goody, again, for all the Goody haters out there, Goody handpicked Xavier McKinney, said, that's going to be our safety of the future. Knocked it out of the park. I think we've done a great job with building that, he said. I think tonight everybody got to see what we have in our room. We've got a special room. So this defense, now Edgerrin Cooper is a huge part of this defense. But to me, the identity of this defense so far, it's that safety room. It's Xavier McKinney. Just like Josh Jacobs has kind of become the identity on offense when the money's on the table. And what I mean by that is right now we're talking Jordan Love and Net Balls and Matthew Golden and Savion Williams and all that, right? But we know when it comes down to Sunday, we know who the guy was that was breaking tackles left and right, throwing spin moves on the Jacksonville Jaguars, stiff-arming another guy into oblivion, like absolutely running through the Honey Badger's face. That's Josh Jacobs. So for me, the identity on offense right now is Josh Jacobs in the running game with a solid passing game behind him. And on defense, it's, hey, I dare you to try our safety room because Evan Williams is coming on strong, and he's got one of the best teachers in Xavier McKinney. So really, really, and oh, by the way, they've got a former defensive coordinator, Derek Ansley, back there coaching them up, man. That's exciting stuff. So there you go. There's your full practice breakdown. Now, I want to get to this Omar Brown thing. I think we've got time since I'm solo. Let's do this. So Omar Brown, I held this back a little bit. I'm going to play this clip. Here's his 2 interceptions. Hopefully this doesn't glitch out on us, okay? Hopefully it's not too choppy. It does get choppy over here on Patreon. This is on our Patreon page. Look at the concentration to bring that in. Right? Going up, trying to high point it off the helmet. Watch him just stay with the ball. Omar Brown, that was one of his interceptions, right? I think we got the second one right here, I believe. And this one, he's playing a little hole, right? See him kind of spin down in the middle, snatch it. Beautiful. Now, listen, that was a horrible decision. Don't get me wrong. I don't even know who threw that. Was that Love or was that Malik? That was Malik. That's a bad decision right there, laid over the middle, right? And you see there's 3 defenders there. But nonetheless, man, what you're finding here with our boy Omar Brown is he is always around the football, right? Look at this. Again, great job, great coordination, staying with the play there, picking the pass off. And on that play there particularly, if we can kind of get a look at it, he's playing deep left here. And without the all-22, it's hard to see exactly what he's playing. It kind of does look like it might be man coverage. Let's see. Let's see if we can pick up on that. No, it's zone. So what he's playing is probably a cover 2 or a cover 6. So that's basically free safety, right? Is mostly what that's like there. Now he's on the boundary side. So in college, you would just refer to that as boundary safety, the short side of the field. So you see him playing that. And then on the second interception, like we said, when we say he's playing kind of that hole, he's playing, what's the word I'm looking for? Robber. It's hole when the backer drops, but it's robber when the safety spins down. So you see, this is more of just a zone defense. So what he's doing here, guys, is he is just playing up top. They're showing a too high shell, it looks like. Ball snapped, and he drops down into what we call a hook curl right here in the middle of the field, right? And he's just reading the quarterback. And once again, just like Malik Willis's other interception he threw, notice how he's late to this read. You never want to go late across the middle. And here's what I mean by that. Watch Malik Willis's stripe on his head. It's hard to see the stripe, but just watch his head. Malik Willis is going to look left, right? Doesn't like it. And when he comes back to the middle, he doesn't have time to see where the defenders are. He just kind of lets that thing rip. That's a bad rep on Malik Willis, more so a bad rep on Malik than a good rep on Omar Brown, but nonetheless still an interception. So there you go. There was 2 of his 3. Did he have 3 interceptions, I believe? You guys correct me if I'm wrong on the chat. I think he had 3. So I thought let's do a little breakdown on Omar Brown. Okay, so Packers safety Omar Brown stood out during the team's annual family night practice at Lambeau Field where he had 3 interceptions. Yeah, so there's the 3 in front of a crowd of 59,000 people. Omar Brown's performance, the 24-year-old safety, recorded 3 interceptions during 11-on-11 periods, making him the star of the night amid struggling offenses. All right, he now leads the team. I repeat, Omar Brown now leads the team with 5 interceptions through 9 training camp practices. Okay, so he's got 5 interceptions through 9 training camp practices, and he's leading the team in interceptions. If you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I believe last year that was Evan Williams. Just saying. I think Evan Williams is that guy we were talking about. Man, he just keeps intercepting the ball in training camp, if I remember right. So let's see. Brown described his approach as treating it like a regular practice, running to the ball on every play and letting opportunities come to him. Now let's talk about what he did in college here. Okay, honors and awards for whatever reason they're not in order, but we're going to talk about it. He was an honorable mention in all Big Ten 2023 coaches media. Okay. First team FCS All-American in 2019. That was by Phil Steele. And that was when he was at Northern Iowa, I believe. Third team FCS All-American in 2019 at Northern Iowa. That was from the AP. FCS Defensive Freshman of the Year in 2019 at Northern Iowa. FCS All-America Sophomore Team in 2021 at Northern Iowa. First team All-Missouri Valley Football Conference 2019 at Northern Iowa. Honorable mention All MVFC 2020-2021 at Northern Iowa. He was MVFC All Newcomer Team in 2019 at Northern Iowa. National FCS Defensive Player of the Year in 2019. All right. MVFC Defensive Player of the Week in 2019. I think that was against Illinois State. MVFC Freshman of the Week in 2019 versus Illinois State. And then when he went to Nebraska, transferred to Nebraska, and obviously you move up the ranks there and play in better competition. He was Nebraska Scholar Athlete Honor Roll in spring of 2022. So someone who took his studies, his studies seriously. And typically, I don't know how you guys feel about that. It's not a deal breaker for me if someone has, bad academics. But when they have good academics, it does perk my ears up a little bit. Like, all right, this dude's got a little something on the ball here, right? So, all right. Let's see what Soder says. He did go to Nebraska, so that's a big strike against him. All right, now keep the Cornhusker bashing down in here. Background on Omar Brown. Undrafted out of Nebraska last year, Brown signed with the Denver Broncos and played against the Packers in preseason. After being cut by Denver at the end of camp, he joined the Packers practice squad for the entire 2024 season. He has limited NFL experience with only 24 regular season snaps, 8 on defense, 16 on special teams. At the end of last year, the Packers had pre-draft interest hosting him for a top 30 visit. His PFF grade last year, again, a minute amount of snaps, right? But he graded out a 62. Let's look at the RAS. Coming out of college, Omar Brown scored a 6.57 RAS. His hand size was 9 1/4. He measured in at 6 foot 205. All right. He bench pressed 11 reps. That's a score of 265. So not a very strong guy. Vertical jump was only 35 inches. That scored a 5.85. Broad jump, 10. So it's basically a 10 flat there, or 1,000, whatever, however you want to look at it. A 5.59 score on the broad jump. So his explosion grade, his composite explosion grade was okay. His composite size grade was good. All right. His speed grade, good. He had a 4.53 40. Scoring a 7.61. So again, he ran a 4.53 40-yard dash. His 20-yard split was absolute cheeks at a 2.69, scoring a 4.10. But look at his 10-yard split, 1.53, scoring a 9.27. Remember we talked about he played a little hook curl in that zone defense? When someone has a great 10-yard split but not so good 40-yard dash, I want him quick twitch playing underneath. So even though he's listed as a free safety in college, and we've seen him playing somewhat of a free safety role on that interception where he kept his eye on the ball really well, I would see him a little more like someone you want down playing the curl flat, right? Now, that might hurt you against the run, obviously, but it is what it is. Comparisons to past players. I want to give credit to Jason Wilde. I was reading his article, and he pointed this out, okay? As reported by Jason Wilde, Brown's knot is likened to memorable family night performances by other long shots who became successful NFL players. That's what I love about Wilde's reporting, is he's good at pulling these old stories out, right? And I know I'm going to butcher this name here, but from 2001, Kevin Kaspaharn, maybe? Kaspaharn? Nonetheless, in 2001, he intercepted Brett Favre. Now, he was released by the Packers. He intercepted Brett Favre on Family Night in 2001. He was released by the Packers. You go, okay, why are we talking about him? Guys, he went on and had a 9-year career with the Bengals and the Saints after the XFL and substitute teaching. So this is a dude that, again, flashed at Family Night, went on and had a 9-year career. So some would look at him, well, he wasn't a starter, he wasn't great. That could be the case. But listen, when you last 9 years in the National Football League, pretty good football player. Again, that's only one example. Let me give you another example. Per Jason Wilde, Tramon Williams, 2007, intercepted Aaron Rodgers in the end zone and had a hard hit. Launched a 14-year career, including 10 with the Packers and a Super Bowl win with the Packers. Williams reflected, quote, "That was the start of Tramon Williams. I got recognized. I opened some eyes. I turned a lot of heads," end of quote. So Tramon Williams flashed in Family Night and went on to have a 14-year career, winning a Super Bowl with the Packers. You guys remember, if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube this evening. Type in, if you young whippersnappers haven't seen this, type in Tramon Williams, Atlanta Falcons pick 6. Boy, oh boy, did I hit my head on the ceiling fan. The momentum it created in that absolute boat race that we laid on the Atlanta Falcons in that playoff game. Tramon Williams, he sparked that whole thing. Oh, it was awesome. Awesome play. Now, fast forward 3 years ahead. Sam Shields, 2010, right? That was the year we win the Super Bowl. He intercepted Matt Flynn and returned it 98 yards for a touchdown. He became a key cornerback in the Super Bowl run there as well in 2010, 2011. So Sam Shields, Tramon Williams, and then this guy that I don't know, Kevin Kavasiarn, or however you say his name, Kavasiarn. I'm going to get butchered for this, and rightfully so. I don't know how the hell to say his name. Kevin boy in 2001. So Tramon Williams, Sam Shields, man. Yeah, awesome. Chris Casualian, that pick 6 by Tramon was insane, man. It was just so smooth. It was so smooth, man. Holmes MD1 LOL Tramon was the truth. And he was such a good teammate. He was such a good team player. He's the epitome, right? The epitome of a Green Bay Packer. All right, Greg Rice trying to help me out, and I still don't know. Is it Cobb? Would you say Cobb or Cave? Cav? Cavassi. Cavassier? Okay, so it is Cavassier. I think he's making a joke there. Isn't that a drink? It's too expensive drink for this redneck. But anyway, reactions from coaches and teammates. Matt LaFleur on Omar Brown. He's making plays. LaFleur pointed out that the Packers had been on Brown for a while, starting with a pre-draft visit in spring 2024. Brown originally signed with Denver as an undrafted free agent and came here at the end of last August. So, again, Matt LaFleur, he's making plays, keeping it simple, right? You probably want to try to sneak him on the practice squad so he ain't going to say too much. All-Pro safety Xavier McKinney chanted MVP at Brown, advised him to stay consistent and focus while trying to make the 53-man roster, and said tonight really separated him for making that statement of making that 53-man roster. So I'm proud of him, and I can't wait to continue to see him grow. You see, I'm proud of him. I can't wait to continue to see him grow. It feels like Xavier McKinney is the safety coach. You know what I mean? It's just awesome. I love how he's just taking ownership of that room for sure. McKinney described Brown as, quote, a pretty level-headed guy and wasn't surprised by his performance. Now, Kelly, God, I'm screwing up the names bad tonight, man. Hallinan? Kelly Hallinan at Kelly Hals over on X said Omar Brown describes one of his 3 interceptions as Xavier McKinney chants MVP. Brown said he has never had 3 interceptions in a game. Added it was special to do family night in front of his mom, grandma, and uncle. And that was per at NBC 26. So I think they even asked him, you never had 3 interceptions in a high school game either? He said no. So really, really cool there. Now, I just want to point out as we get ready to wrap up, the safety room. Keep in mind, guys, last year we broke camp with 5 safeties. Right now, the safety room is Xavier McKinney, Zane Anderson, Catano Ladapo, Evan Williams, and Omar Brown. That's what we're showing here in the safety room, right? And I thought we had more safeties than that on the roster, but we don't. I double-checked, checked a couple different sites. Matter of fact, I looked at our lads. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a safety I'm missing there? But we look at the safety depth chart here for our lads. We've got McKinney, Williams, Oladapo, Zane Anderson, Omar Brown. So we've only got 5 in the room. Now, I'm probably thinking that because of Javon Bullard's versatility, right? We don't play safety. But with that being said, if we carried 5 last year, good chance we carry 5 this year. I think a better chance that we carry 5 than not. Omar Brown making the roster, baby. I like it. I really like it. The fact that Xavier McKinney talking about he's level-headed, it didn't surprise him, all those things. It just seems like he would fit on this roster really, really well from a 53-man standpoint. So there you go. There's your camp breakdown. Boy, I'm tired. Hour 22. We did good, man. We stayed on time. Look at this. Yeah. So, everybody's saying Bull. Yeah, you can look at him. I look at Bullard as a slot corner now. But, again, that's probably the reason we only carried 5 safeties last year is the fact that Bullard could play safety, And then again, maybe we just carry 4 this year. Who knows? So, all right. Y'all ready to do a giveaway? Let's give away an autographed Luke Musgrave card. And listen, I need Jacob Clay. I sent you a message over on Patreon. He won the autographed Dontavion Wicks card. Rodney Jens said, hey, give it to the next guy. So it was Jacob Clay. If I don't hear from Jacob Clay, it's going to Dave Colvin, okay? So Jacob Clay, please, please, please respond to that message on Patreon so we can get your address and get that shipped out to you. If we don't hear from him in a few days, Dave Colvin, it'll go to you. Now, tonight we're giving away a Luke Musgrave autographed rookie card. And, boy, no better time either, man. Luke Musgrave is really starting to kind of crank it up, right? He's starting to kind of live up to some of the expectations, albeit training camp. But we're going to shuffle this thing. Everybody who is a YouTube member, okay, so if you hit that join tab on YouTube and you're a member, I think it's like $2 or $3 to join to be a member. This gets you entered into the giveaways. You're donating to the channel. You're helping with the channel. So we just try to give back to those who are helping the channel. who are, helping us here. So also Patreon. I would rather you join the Patreon group, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, because you get access to more content. All the stuff I just shared with you guys, everybody already had access to that a few hours ago before the show even went live. So you can kind of get caught up. All right, here's what we're going to be talking about today. Also, we got chats in there. We got fantasy football leagues you can sign up for. A lot of fun what we're doing in the Patreon group. So they're on this list as well. Somebody in the chat, we already put numbers out, man. We got y'all trained. Look at this. Since you already put them in there, they'll say it's rigged because I'm going to pick one. Give me the next one. Ed Madden said 9. Somebody give me a number between 1 and 10 after Ed Madden, so they won't claim it's rigged. Between 1 and 10. Let it fly, guys. You got this. Come on. 7. Murph said 7. All right, got it, buddy. So what we're going to do is shuffle this thing 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And let's spin this sucker. Again, the winner of the autographed Luke Musgrave rookie card is a lot of names on this wheel now, man. I love it. Appreciate y'all's support. We've got Donovan Schilling. Donovan Schilling. Let me write this down so I don't forget here. Bear with me. Donovan Schilling is the winner of the autographed Luke Musgrave card. Now, if he does not come forward and he's in the clink, we can't find him, right? The card will go to Rich Beck. All right. So Rich Beck. And then if for some reason we can't get a hold of Rich Beck, the third place winner will be Randy. That should be easy to find. Good old Randy. All right. So again, Donovan Schilling, you are the winner of the autographed Musgrave card. So appreciate you guys listening. Whether you've won prizes or not, hopefully you understand and know we appreciate your all support here. And, the fact that people are in the Patreon group and paying for that extra content, the fact that people just hit that join tab and it's a couple bucks. The super chats too. I want to give a shout out to King Tron tonight. $5 super chat, $2 super chat. Chris the Casual Win, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Listen, that you guys doing that is what keeps this thing going. Got a lot of expensive equipment here. Matter of fact, I got a buddy that's in the music industry. He's like, man, I've been watching your podcast and you guys are professional as hell. I want to come by and look at your setup. So he's going to be dropping by here in a couple of days. Put a lot of money into this. And the fact that you guys are just contributing, man, it means the world to me that it helps kind of absorb a little bit of that cost and keep this thing going, keep the lights on, so to speak. So, I just want to say thank you guys. So we'll be back tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. I'm sure we'll have the guys back in here. Really, really appreciate everybody tonight. This was fun. Sorry if it was long-winded or boring. Yeah, I love having other people in here with me because I can kind of bounce things off of them, get their opinion. I think that stuff's important. But hopefully we got you guys the information that you need. Thank you, Daryl, for the kind words. Everybody in here, thank y'all so much for the kind words. You guys are awesome, man. Clint, Ed, Holmes, Tony, love it, man. Appreciate you guys. So, all right, we'll be back tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world and go Pack.
Here we go.
We're out.
Bye, guys.